Can you believe that this figure is only $17? I know, crazy, right? So this is the total anime Izuku Midorya, action figure. It's basically a kind of a crossover between Crunchyroll and Jazzwares. So yes, this is actually Jazzwares figure. So if you know a Jazzwares figure, you're still actually going to be a little bit surprised because, usually Jazzwares figures, they kind of have some minor quality control issues. The joints aren't always the best, and that sometimes carries over to this figure. He was tight out of the box, so you will have to run him under running hot water in order to loosen up those joints. But it only takes 10 seconds per joint, so it's not that bad. And this guy has a ton of accessories. Especially for the price point, he really feels like a S.H.Figuarts figure, which is kind of weird considering those are usually $35 or more, and he's only $17, and you can find him at Target. Now, he can also go for $20 on Amazon, but if you find him at Target, $17 versus $20. It's better to find him in person if you have the opportunity. And he has, unlike a lot of Western action figure companies, a decent likeness to Deku himself, and the painting and sculpting is actually pretty accurate to this outfit of his. And his cap, his little cowl thing, you can't flip it over his head, but you can actually take it off, but I'm not going to show that here. And he comes with a stand, this little clear thing that you can just kind of stick him on, which is pretty nice. And the painting on his hair is subtle, but not that bad, and you can just kind of rock his head back like that, and then forward like this, side to side. And his neck is a little long, I'm gonna say, but it's not that bad, and you can get it into some decently dynamic poses and just kind of roll it all around, which is really fun, though it could be a little tighter, in my opinion. And then his arm can actually, go out. It has a hinge, and that's, not that bad. You can't raise it up too far, but he does have a butterfly joint. It is a little bit hard to notice, but yeah, in there is a butterfly joint, but because of the flexible plastic, his arm does get a little stuck, which is pretty unfortunate, but you still can, somewhat tell he has a butterfly joint, which, for a figure for $17 is actually really good. Not even all Marvel Legend figures for $25 have a butterfly joint. And he has a double-jointed pinless elbows and a cut at the upper arm, allowing for a full 360 rotation. And yeah, and his arm itself can rotate 360 degrees. Unfortunately, down at his lower arm, that section, that kind of cuff section, doesn't rotate like it does in the art, but, not that bad. And so he also has, I think it's a double ball joint in the torso that allows him to punch back that forward, front that much, and then to the side. But it's pretty limited going side to side. It's not awful, but it is a little limited compared to at least his backwards and forwards. And it's a little tight, but there is, because, there's conflict with the belt, which is on the figure itself. It's a little tight to try and get him to rotate 360 degrees, but you can do it, which is pretty good if you want to do some more extreme kicking poses. And yeah. And taking him off the stand there, you can see that he has a ball joint with drop-down hips inside of his waist, which is actually really nice. Again, $17. This is really affordable. And yeah, so his leg can kick out pretty much full splits, and it can go up that far, it can go back that far, which, not even Marvel Legends, again, can actually do that. Now, unfortunately, he does not have a thigh cut, which sucks. It would have been a real big help, but, Jazzwares thigh cuts, in my experience, are never the best. He has double jointed knees, giving you more than 90, and his foot can pivot, kind of basically a Marvel Legends foot, go down, rotate, swing all around. Not a ball joint, just a swivel hinge. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for articulation. And overall, it actually allows for a wide range of things. And if you go to accessories, he has a bunch of accessories. So he has these flicky hands for when he, shoots out and breaks his finger, shooting a massive airburst out against his enemies, which is pretty cool. And they're actually painted on the bottom and painted on the top, which is really nice. The painting there, it's not separate color, it's just separate paint. So really good paint apps, which I'm pretty surprised since their hands, and even on the wide open hands, you have, paint on the bottom and paint on the top, and the hands themselves can go down and they can go up and, rotate all around, which is super nice. They can do what a hand can do. They're pretty much Marvel Legends hands, just more paint. And yeah, oh, that's a funky pose. All right, so getting on to his swappable faceplates. Again, Western company Jazzwares doing swappable faceplates, kind of like S.H.Figuarts, and he has two other heads. First is the worst head of the bunch, which is his kind of resting, slight smile face. I don't know how I feel about this. This thing is weird. I think his chin becomes way too pointy on it, and while his eyes still look great, it just doesn't look as much like Deku as the others. Super unfortunate that one of his heads is kind of a dud, but, not awful. And out of the box, his head was really tight to get that faceplate off, so that was a bit of a pain. But now that they're coming off, they're really nice and easy. And here's his best face, in my opinion, his yelling face. And that is just spot on to Deku. No McFarlane nonsense. This is Deku. Which, yeah, his face could be a little cuter, but overall, it's a damn good face. And he has a lot of articulation, so you can get him into some fairly dynamic poses, and that is only aided by his electricity effect parts when he's going full cowl mode. And that's just cool, being able to actually put on all these electricity pieces that you can attach to other figures, especially if you have, say, the Jax Sonic figures. If you want to do movie Sonic with his electricity powers, these are the parts for you. And these just look great. They're transparent, flexible plastic. They don't stick on the best, unfortunately, but they are super nice and super flexible, just in terms of usage, not just in terms of the fact that they're flexible plastic. And he has them out of the box, but these will fall off really easily, so I recommend posing him first and adding on the electricity effects later. These things do not plug in, they just kind of friction themselves onto him, which is, a little weird, but it works and looks great. And again, all these effects parts, all these extra parts, only for $17. This, if Jazzwares keeps up this standard with the rest of the total anime line, we could have a fantastic set of things. So here he is with Ken. Oh, no. Here he is with Naruto, which actually I'll round back to him later. And here he is with Kamen Rider. I forgot his name. Yeah, this guy, this other SHF I have. And yeah, I mean, even though he's a mass market figure, he looks great. And especially next to an SHF like Naruto, which, even though they're from completely different companies and they're both shonen, he still stacks up really well next to Naruto, which is crazy. So yeah, here he is next to the SHF Naruto that you can sometimes find at Target. That's where I got him. And $35 versus $17, crazy. And one other thing I forgot is that if you actually take up his hoodie, there's this little piece in the back that you can, take out, this little black back piece. And once you take that out, you can take a Tamashii Action Act 5 stand and plug it in, which, allows him to be in the air, which is great that he's compatible with, I think, 3mm pegs. So yeah, you can get him in dynamic poses. He's not just limited to the little stand he comes with. You could also put him on an action stand and get him in the air, get him kicking, get him punching, get him flying, doing whatever Deku does in the show. It's been a little while since I've watched My Hero Academia, but, I'm on, season 5, I think? Yeah, no, I have a lot of catching up to do, but overall, this figure is fantastic. If you see him, pick him up. He will be a lot of fun for you. And yeah, if you just like My Hero Academia, he's great. Hopefully the total anime line expands a lot more so we can get, oh gosh, what's her name? Uraraka, so we can get All Might. Though, I'm looking forward to the Chainsaw Man, so yeah, this will be great. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have fun. Bye!